and welcome to Soul in Balance. My name's Alicia and I'll be bringing you a report on the new moon in Aries that'll be happening on the 16th of April at 11:57 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And like all new moons, it's about setting new intentions. But this new moon is a little bit different because it's the first new moon for the astrology cycle or the astrology calendar. So it's the yearly cycle. So it's kind of like a new year, really. So it's a new start, new revelations, go, 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 get things started. And it's also going to be a little bit electrifying because it is conjunct Uranus. So it'll be the moon, the sun and Uranus. And Uranus is all about revelations, radical change, disruptions, something that just happens out of nowhere. So for this to be the new moon, something really striking is going to happen. And if you kind of work with setting your intentions, I think it's a really great time to set really radical intentions, something that you've always wanted, like your biggest dream, your biggest desire that you never thought that you could have or accomplish. Just set those intentions really high because it's, you know, something that can really come about at this time. Like, it's definitely on the cards. So if you have any big ideas out there, you know, now's the time to put it across to the universe. Adding to this new moon in Aries and all the go, go, go is Mercury goes direct. And this means communication, understanding, learning, any kind of, you know, ways that we communicate as a species is now going forward. So it was going retrograde. So retrograde means it was going backwards. And what it's doing, it means reevaluate, reassess, go over anything that's happened over the coming months that have just been. So once we go over, we can reflect and then move forward and then go forward in a better direction for ourselves once the retrograde period is over. So this all helps with the pushing effect of this new moon and how we really need to be going forward now. And it's going to be with so much ease now. Communication and understanding is going in the same direction. However, we're going to have Saturn going retrograde a couple of days after this new moon. So if we look at what's going on up in Capricorn, we've got Mars, Saturn and Pluto. So they're fairly heavy planets. So at this new moon that's all about breaking free and, you know, new starts, we've still got all that heaviness over there in Capricorn with those planets, and especially with Mars wanting to break free as well, and then going into Pluto. So we'll probably see like our desires and what we want and what we're going through, and even the masculine going through a bit of a death and rebirth in the coming days, and even, you know, for the rest of the year, especially for the masculine. But yeah, so Saturn will go retrograde. So all the structures and the things we've put in place over the last few months, it could even be the last few years, when Saturn goes retrograde, it starts to go inside and process and be like, hey, have I, you know, like overcommitted with work? Like, have I overcommitted with, you know, in society and helping other people? Do I need to pull back and, you know, get rid of some of these structures that are more suitable for me? So as we're going in, we're looking at, hey, you know, like what structures need to be reformed and what can we let go of? So sometimes especially when Saturn is in Capricorn, we're all about building and structure and work and what we need and what we're passionate about, but we're not actually, you know, considering what's best for our soul. So when we're going retrograde with the Saturn, it's going in and analyzing what structures we don't particularly need right now. So another aspect of the Saturn retrograde is the breaking down of structures in society. So Capricorn is like governments, corporations, all kinds of structures that we have globally. And, you know, there's so many aspects in society that aren't serving the people. And as this Saturn goes retrograde and goes in and starts to break down some of these structures, you know, that's just adding to Pluto that's been going through Capricorn the last few years. And Pluto is, you know, death and rebirth, and in Capricorn it's in society and in structures in society. So we've had Pluto going through, breaking down some of the structures that, and waking people up to what's really going on with corporations and things like that. So with Saturn also doing the same thing as well, I believe we're just going to see even more of a breakdown of things that aren't working in our societies, things that aren't serving the people. So as much as it's going to be a tough aspect, it's going to be a great one as well. So another big aspect that will be going on at this new moon, actually I think it's a few days after, is Chiron, which is our collective soul wound, will be going into Aries. So if you look at it from the perspective of Pisces is, say, a soul level, like say in heaven, in the cosmos, in the universe, you know, and you see Aries as like a newborn baby. So the transition from being a soul into a human, or going through the birth canal. So Chiron will be going into 0 degrees of Aries, and so that's kind of like being birthed. And because it's our collective soul wounds, it's kind of the wounds that we've experienced being born onto this planet, like going from, you know, unconditional love, going into this dense planet where, you know, like there's all these, you know, deep feelings and problems and issues going on, and, you know, generational wounding, and, you know, just lots and lots of things that have, you know, affected us over the years and what we need to heal as a society. This can also be the masculine, because Aries is a masculine sign. Mars, the planet, the god of war, that's also the masculine. This is also going to bring up wounding with the masculine as well, and where the masculine needs to heal. So Chiron will be in Aries for the next 8 years. So there's going to be a lot of radical changes going on for the masculine. And I think it's really important that we be fairly supportive of the masculine. So there has been a lot of the masculine supporting the feminine. So over the years, and even still now, the feminine are starting to break through and heal some of the wounding that's been going on there. And the masculine has been a great support. So I think, yeah, as the masculine goes through this, which I've mentioned in previous videos, is that we need to be supportive of the masculine, because it is going through a major death and rebirth, and especially in the next few days with Mars going to be joining Pluto. So yes, I think we need to send out a little bit of compassion at the moment. So Venus is currently going through Taurus, and Venus is at home in Taurus. She loves being sensual. She loves the finer things in life. She loves nature and expressing her love. So we're all probably fairly harmonious in our love, nature, and matters of the heart at the moment, give or take. But what I'm wanting to say is that Venus is trining Mars, which is the masculine, and that is a fairly harmonious connection. But I would like to say with that is that Mars is conjunct Pluto, which is death and rebirth, and Venus is trining out to Neptune. So we could be seeing past life dynamics being transformed, or past life dynamics going through a death and rebirth period. So, you know, it could be a relationship where maybe you've been together in a past life, and this life you're acting out these dynamics and transforming them, so there's healing on both sides. So it's a fairly interesting trine going on with Mars and Venus right now. I think a lot of astrologers are just saying it's harmonious, but I think there's a lot more going on behind the scenes, and especially if you're someone that's super sensitive and super connected, you can feel those past lives and feel those spiritual connections coming through from the Venus to Neptune. So, and even with Pluto as well. Pluto is past lives, and, you know, the soul and soul wounding and soul transformation. So yeah, it is quite interesting, that aspect at the moment. So there is a lot going on this new moon, and it is all about moving forward. Even though things still feel quite heavy and there's still some blockages going on and you're not getting enough traction, it really is, this new moon is just about going. Just go, 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 go and get out there. And like all new moons, set some intentions. Even if you just write it on a piece of paper, go outside, go to the moon and just say, this is what I want, this is what I'm dreaming about. Make it happen. Because it is in Aries and it is about making it happen. So think about the most outstanding and radical desire that you have and put it out there and get it going and start doing it. It's a really great time for doing things you haven't done before, like starting a new hobby. It could be something you've always been a bit scared to do. Go out and do it. Just go book something, go do something, just get in your car, go out there and do it. Go do something new. So celebrations, Mercury is going direct. So there's going to be forward communication now, not backward internal communication, which I still think that's going to happen, you know, for the shadow phase and all, but all in all, it's forward motion, no more disruptions in communications and misunderstandings. So off we go forward. So like I say at all videos, if you would like a chart reading done from me so you can see how the new moon and the full moon affects you each month, please contact me on the information below. So if you're someone that really feels the cycle of the moon, it'll be really interesting for you to see how that affects you each month, because whatever house and sign it's in will be a part of your life that's being triggered at that time. So contact me if you would like a birth chart reading done. All in all, many soul journey blessings for this new moon in Aries.